Hello, this is Gretchen and this is the Vintage Seagull. I invite you to like and subscribe so we can build up this channel. I'll first start with today's outfit. Even though it's daytime, this kind of looks very evening wear. I am going to an event tonight, and so to me, when I follow the elegance rules and some of the vintage rules, pearls and like this has like kind of diamond encrusted, like fake diamond stuff, it would be more of an evening wear thing. And I'm wearing a dress. This is from 20th Century Foxy. Got this a few years ago. It's got seagulls on it. It's more of a 30s style, and I'm wearing these modern ballet flats, but they match and they look good. So today's video, I'm going to go through my set lists on my on-song program for my 20 set, my 30s and 40 set, my 50 set, and I'm going to also name some other types of sets. And if people are interested, they can reach out to me directly for more of those specific, more obscure time periods and time periods outside of the vintage era. So this is going to be my 1920 set, and actually I have it coded as World War I and gilded 20s because, again, like I've said on other videos, pieces from a little bit before and in the current time were traditionally sung, whether it's classical or in our modern time with decades. This set has 19 songs. It's an hour long, and I probably was trying to plan for an hour program. So it's my standard, and again, if I got a gig for that, I kind of make some adjustments. I could delete that playlist and make a new one, things like that. And I'll show some screenshots of this so you can see what the on-song program looks like. It's really cool. Again, you use text and you I just took lyrics off of online. You put them in, you edit it, you format it, you can put the time and key signature. It's truly a database. You can look up by artist, key signature, different parameters. It is a very cool program, and I use the iPad so I can actually see it better when I sing. So one thing I will preface is I do have a few modern songs that have the style. Some of them are from the musical Chicago. So if you want purely accurate songs, I would not use these songs from Chicago. The first few are jazz standards. All of Me, Blue Skies, Cheek to Cheek, Embraceable You, and the modern one, All That Jazz from the musical Chicago. But it gives a good ambiance if that's acceptable for your gig, if it's, like, say, not a traditional reenactment. I Got Rhythm, Anything Goes, The Bird on Nellie's Hat, Putting on the Ritz, Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, When Alexander Takes His Ragtime Band to France, and I do more of the swing version of that. There's a more World War I version, but I like the swing one a lot more. Shine on Harvest Moon, You Do Something to Me, All the Things You Are, Too Darn Hot, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, Razzle Dazzle, which was also a Chicago modern one, Solitude, and Night and Day. So those are all the titles for artists. I have these coded as like jazz standard if it's like a lot of people do it. I have Louis Armstrong, George Gershwin, Cole Porter, and Vera Lynn. So that gives you a context. But if you just look up the titles, you'll find it. A lot of these you probably would have heard of. And again, if you just want to even just listen to these songs for fun, if you're not a singer, you can download those as well. The 1940 set, this is by far the largest. It is 2 hours and 11 minutes, so I'll be rattling off a lot of titles. And it's long because I typically have done like a reenactor's dinner that's an hour or two. I've done air shows, which are 4 to 5 hours. So I have to kind of recycle songs. There's only so many songs you can do. So there are 41 songs on this list. So if I do a 4 or 5 hour set, I will recycle much later in the program so new people can hear some of these songs as well. And I'll do the same thing, song titles, and then I'll name some of these artists. All of Me, again. Fly Me to the Moon, Embraceable You, Bei mir bist du schön, Autumn Leaves, Cry Me a River, Chattanooga Choo Choo, As Time Goes By, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, I Got Rhythm, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree, It Had to Be You, Love, Apple Blossom Time, La Vie en Rose, which you can also do the English, Begin. Also, this is both 1930s and 1940s songs. I'll Be Seeing You, It's Only a Paper Moon, Let's Do It, Let's Fall in Love, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, I've Got You Under My Skin, Silver Wings in the Moonlight, Moonlight Serenade, Mein Wetter ein Wandersmann, Someone to Watch Over Me, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, New York, which is more 50s, but again, for the ambiance, I throw that in. And also, you'll hear some other languages. I like to throw in different cultures of people in the war at the time. So you're going to hear French, German, Russian, different languages to kind of cover that. Sentimental Journey, Lili Marlene, What Is This Thing Called Love, Summer Wind, You Do Something to Me, You Make Me Feel So Young, They Can't Take That Away From Me, Strangers in the Night, and that's another 50s one, but love that song. Summertime, That's Amore, another 50s one. Someday My Prince Will Come, the German national anthem, the World War II one, and again, this, you be careful on the audience. If they don't want the Nazi version, you do the modern version. I do all three. I do the 18th century, the Nazi one when requested and appropriate, and when people want it, and then the modern. So I have the ability to ask what they want, and then I do it. Singing in the Rain and My Way. So to name the artists, again, a lot of jazz standards. George Gershwin, the Andrews Sisters, Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, Edith Piaf, Cole Porter, I don't know if I just said that, Glenn Miller, Frank Sinatra, Doris Day, Marlene Dietrich, and the German anthems by Haydn, Someday My Prince Will Come is Snow White. So that's the 40 set I have. I think I have more songs that are a bit more obscure, but these are the ones I can do pretty quickly. Now this is the 50 set. I call it Doo-Wop 50s. I have it as an hour and 12 minutes, so again, like an hour-ish program, 25 songs, and I will list the titles and then kind of go through some of the artists. I think these are all period accurate, but because I love Chicago in the 20s, that's why I threw that in there. At Last, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Half Heaven, Half Heartache, Blue Moon, Crazy, Stand By Me, Do You Love Me, which I know is from Dirty Dancing, but I think it was a song at the time. Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Hit the Road Jack, All Shook Up, I Walk the Line, Earth Angel, Hound Dog, I Fall to Pieces, Love Hurts, Love Me Tender, I Want to Be Loved by You, My True Love, Under the Boardwalk, Mr. Sandman, Your Cheating Heart, Remember Walking in the Sand, which might be in the realm of 60s or late 50s, In the Still of the Night, Unchained Melody, Walking After Midnight. And these are all sets in the order that I sing them. I do it again as a mix. So artists, I have Etta James, Tolkins, Gene Pitney, Patsy Cline, Ben King, Frankie Valli, Ray Charles, Elvis, Johnny Cash, the Penguins, Marilyn Monroe, the Drifters, the Chordettes, the Shangri-Las, the Five Satins, Righteous Brothers. And again, if you have other songs you like from the time period, you can customize your set, but these are the ones I know and have used. And so just gives you a sample of how to do a set. I have some other sets if people are interested. So if you want, I would have you reach out to me directly. If you do sing or want to sing and want some other time periods, because this does take a lot of work and research. This took me a number of years to kind of put these together, because I've been singing at vintage gigs since 2016, but even before that, I was compiling and doing research. And I had actually an 18th century music impression. But I have a lot of sets. I have 18th century and American Revolution. I have Celtic and Burns nights, so anything like Irish theme. A lot of Christmas party ones, which are vintage and more traditional. I also have like a Civil War and Victorian style Christmas, but I also have a Civil War regular. I started actually trying to do wedding and funeral singing, so I have a lot of those kind of lists. I have Halloween gigs I've done. I have Vietnam. I have, if someone wants a late 20th century into the millennial mix, like those pop songs, patriotic USO and parades is another mix. So any of those kind of gigs and performances. And actually, you can do patriotic even if you're not reenacting. There's a lot of ceremonies. I have a set that's Sinatra and opera, because you're kind of mixing the two, the kind of the Italian theme. And also, I used to be in music therapy school, so I have a lot of these other sets for themes, like different people's cultures, like world music and different countries. I have other themes like seasonal themes, like an autumn theme mix, Broadway and Disney for kids. So, and feelings and emotion set. So anything like at a kids event or a nursing home would be like more in that music therapy realm of things. So again, those are my other sets if people are interested. So I hope me going through these various set lists was very informative to you. And I hope it gave you some tips and advice, and also the other video, if you haven't seen it, on like preparing for gigs. So that has stuff about sound equipment and rehearsing and basic practice and how to craft programs. So these two videos, this is part 2 to that, and they go together. So we'll see you in the next video.